Hello?
Hey kid, a mutual friend needs our help.
Logan? But how did you get...
I have my ways. Look, you want to help or not?
Depends on the friend.
Aurora Monroe.
Oh, of course. I'm free now.
Good. You know where to find us.
Where the trouble is.
Eliana, thank you for coming.
Aurora, you can always count on me.
A friendship for all seasons is a powerful thing. Thank the goddess for that. We miss you at the school. You are always welcome home.
I found my home with the Midnight Suns. But that does not mean I leave friends behind. What is the problem?
A year ago, the professor detected a mutant living here with dormant abilities. I met with her, a fierce young woman named Dahlia, and invited her to attend Xavier's school. She declined. The orphanage was all she knew. I came here today to see if she had changed her mind, but according to the orphanage, she disappeared 3 months ago.
Let me guess. As soon as her powers manifested.
It's my fault. I didn't want to push her, to take her away from the only place she felt safe. I thought she could hide in plain sight a bit longer. I was wrong.
You did what you thought was right. As you always do.
Dahlia would never harm another person. And now she slipped through the cracks. Another ghost in the wind.
This city is not kind to its ghosts.
Especially not when it's infested with vampires.
That's why we're gonna find her before they do.
They already found us.
Protect the children, at any cost. As if preying on the innocent wasn't enough for them. They come for the most vulnerable.
I would call them cowards, but they are just mindless scavengers looking for an easy meal.
I've got something they can chew on right here.
Ah, Logan. Together again. Just like old times.
Even the gods would not stand before us as arrogantly as you have.
I will deliver you from the trap.
Very effective.
Not looking good for you. Bad luck for you, bro. Kiss a
Good work.
Just on the ugly one. You should just start backing away slowly.
I should have been more vigilant. Dahlia was on her own here, alone with her burgeoning abilities.
There was only so much you could do. Have faced the same difficulties.
All of them.
It seems a requirement of our upbringing to face such undeserved trials.
It falls to us to ensure. to the elements!
Whatever works for you. Will do.
Your journey is over.
I'm gonna rip you a new one. Smells like someone had an accident. It ain't even satisfying tearing these things apart. I can't tell if they even care.
Lords over these pitiful will miss them.
They're probably making more as quickly as we end them.
You're just a ray of sunshine today, kid.
I am always a ray of sunshine, reflected into your eyes.
That's the magic I know.
At least we got here in time to protect the children.
Why bother protecting society's dregs? Hmm? It is beneath your stature.
Beneath me, all I see is you.
The new breed vampires are an evolution, just as mutants were before them. But vampires continue to grow. Mutants remain tethered to humanity, a broken branch on the evolutionary tree. These cast-offs are not your family. They are fuel. There is a food chain, and it is time we ate up.
Should do the trick. Still getting better after all these years. Now it's my turn. That looked like it hurt.
Blindly for Lilith? You are more foolish than you look. No more wasting.
If you were truly evolved, you would see how your actions against those who cannot defend themselves are misguided.
Oh, does humanity shed a tear for their countless meals? Do they care about their meat?
One does not justify the other. Your mind is twisted.
Seeing things more clearly than ever.
They really want me gone.
You attached to that
I will deliver you from her grasp.
They say it gets the job done. Now is
You would dare!
kissing goodbye.
I cannot be deterred.
Is that your best shot?
Arm Alpha reinforcing.
We will not allow you to spread this plague across the world.
My kind have little to fear from you. We are the future!
They're not scared yet. Better get started. Just what I need.
good work.
Gets on the ugly one.
Pathetic.
Look to the sky.
On Gamma, on the move!
As mutants, you should understand the struggle my kind has faced better than anyone.
You chose to align yourself with these creatures. Our paths are nothing alike.
I chose to move beyond the limitations of humanity, and I have no regrets!
I call to the elements.
That will do.
Their intentions haven't changed. Accept your defeat.
Now for something real special. Done waiting. Stay down.
Forever in service!
We are not done yet.
Our enemies came unprepared.
This will happen. Next time, it will be forever.
The elements bow to me.
Very effective.
The forces of nature conspire against you.
Whatever gets the job done.
Our long Now you will.
Regroup and await reinforcements!
You and your friends will suffer together. Ready?
Try through with your end.
if you've been waiting to do that.
We prevail. For now. Drop! That was a quarter of my power. I'm glad the training stayed with you.
The danger room left an impression. As you did with Sin. She won't be back.
It's why she was here in the first place that concerns me.
Agreed. This is bigger than us. If we're going to take on Sin,
And find Dahlia.
we need reinforcements.
Most of the X-Men are off-planet dealing with the Shi'ar brood war.
Don't worry. The Midnight Suns will help.
Storm, is it?
Indeed. You must be the hunter. Magic told me about you.
Why does that make me nervous?
Nothing but good things, I promise. Thank you for welcoming me into your home. I must say, this place is unlike anything I've seen before. There is an air of mystery and wonder, but it feels welcoming and safe all at the same time. How curious.
The Abbey is special. It even holds secrets that I have not uncovered.
Sounds unique indeed. I can already see the similarities between here and Xavier School. Speaking of, what do you think is the most interesting part of the Abbey?
I grew up in the Abbey, but I am still discovering new things about my home.
It's all part of getting older. Perspective gives us a new way of looking at our surroundings.
Can perspective open doors which require passwords?
No, sadly not. Apologies. I have been dominating the conversation. Have you any questions for me?
Yes, I have a few.
By all means, ask away.
Can you tell me about your background?
I won't go into too much detail, but I was left orphaned as a child. I learned how to fend for myself and became a skilled pickpocket.
You stole from others?
To survive, and it worked. I scraped by. After a few years, my mutant abilities presented themselves, and I was approached by Xavier to join the X-Men. The rest is history.
I feel like you are leaving some parts out.
Perhaps. My past is just that. It is behind me, and I prefer to focus on what is ahead.
I saw bright lights coming from your hands. What was that?
It's a little complicated, but I have the power to control the weather and atmosphere. What you saw back there was electricity.
Wow, that is amazing. Now I understand the meaning behind your name.
Thunder and lightning don't roll off the tongue as easily.
You said your powers are complicated. May I ask how?
Maybe I'll go into full detail another time, but let's just say I can't mess with Mother Nature too much.
I see. Like checks and balances?
Exactly.
What is your given name?
Aurora Monroe. What about yours?
The Hunter.
Short and sweet. I like it.
Does your name hold any significance like mine does?
I was told it meant beauty. A little embarrassing, but I understand the intent.
I changed my mind.
The offer still stands.
A few of us are meeting up tonight. It's a book club. You're probably busy, but if not, the others said I should invite you.
A book club?
Yeah, I didn't figure the great and powerful Hunter would be into a book club.
Is a book club some form of weapon? Do you strike with the spine?
You hear that? That's the sound of Agatha rolling in her grave. Book clubs are simple. You read books and talk about them. Sometimes there's punch. Anyway, I'm headed to the meeting. I doubt it's your thing, but if you're interested, you could tag along.
After you.
Okay then. Sin messed up big time trying to bite magic. Heard Storm put her in her place. Here's how this works. We pick out a book, we read the book, and then next meeting we talk about the book. It's my turn to pick, so give me a minute. I need to narrow it down.
What kind of book is a book club book?
The good ones, that's the plan at least.
Did you already talk about today's book?
Well, no, there isn't one for today.
What is the best book you have read so far?
None.
You have not read any books, but you are starting a book club?
Hunter, I've read half the books in the library. I have too many favorites to list. I meant I have no book club favorites yet.
You are being evasive, and I do not know why.
This is technically our first meeting.
I thought this was a regular thing you did.
Yeah, I want it to be. Doesn't matter how sharp your weapons are if your mind is as dull as a brick. Just give me some space. I need to find the right book if I'm going to. I need to pick the right book, okay?
All right.
This is the first book club I've been to that didn't devolve into a knockdown, drag-out fight.
Must have been some book club.
A few years back, Bruce and Tony started an Avengers literature circle. First book chosen was Banner's favorite. Tony hated it. Said it was the worst poetry he'd ever read. That a mascara-blinded lab monkey could have written it better. I still don't know what that means. Turned out, it wasn't Banner's favorite book. It was Hulk's.
Oh no.
We lost 2 floors of Avengers Tower before he calmed down.
What happened next?
Black Widow invoked the "this is why we can't have nice things" rule and banned book clubs from meeting at the tower.
I hope I have time for this. I used to be in one of these with my friend Jess, but it fell apart.
What happened?
I got reassigned, she had a kid, aliens invaded, the usual.
Aliens?
Yeah, it's been a busy decade.
All right, I made my decision.
So, what is it going to be?
The first book we'll read for book club will be The Art of War by Sun Tzu.
Ooh, a classic.
Yep, that's an old book.
Way older than The Hunter.
Ah, The Art of War. I read that when I was 12.
Well, then you could reread it. See if you gain a new perspective. Our time is tight, I get it. But stop by the library and read the book before the next meeting. But I hope you read the whole thing. This book is one of my favorites.
The katana gave that away.
Yeah, I'm always around if you want to chat about it.
I'll save it for the next book club.
I could chat about it.
Nah, I'm good. I think that went well. Carol seemed to enjoy herself. What do you think?
Blade, did you start a book club so Carol would join it?
No. Yes, sort of. We were talking about books, and I may have suggested the two of us read a book and talk about it. Captain America overheard and expressed interest. Carol said I was starting a book club, and he asked if he could join.
Then what?
What was I supposed to do? Say no to Captain America?
Let me talk to Steve. He will drop out when I explain.
You want to tell Captain America that I'm into one of his closest friends?
Yes.
No way. He's got that sweater vest, pipe, and slippers vibe. If there's one thing I never want from America's dad, it's a knowing wink and a, you kids have fun. Glad you came, Hunter. But don't forget to do the reading.
All right, I will.
I'm not kidding.
I hope we locate Dahlia soon. A new mutant on their own. It is a difficult life. So, what do you think of Storm?
I'm eager to work alongside her.
She has that effect on people.
Even on you?
She was my mentor. Of course I respected her. But it had to be earned first. Some leaders blather on to avoid making tough decisions. But not Storm.
She did not go into much detail about the extent of her powers, but they sound impressive.
Impressive? She is 100% grade A badass.
100 badasses. Got it.
You are hopeless.
Thank you for offering your aid, Hunter. Our search for Dahlia cannot begin soon enough. Hello, Hunter. I hope you are well.
I was hoping to ask you some questions.
By all means, ask away.
I changed my mind.
The offer still stands. I think Dahlia might be hiding with the Morlocks.
The Morlocks?
Mutants who live in the tunnels beneath the city, and who stay away from the X-Men. There's a homeless encampment by an entrance to the Morlock tunnels. Vampires have attacked it 3 times this week.
That cannot be a coincidence. Do you think the vampires are hunting this child?
I don't know. The city's most vulnerable population is being erased, mutants and humans alike, disappearing from shelters, off the streets.
The vampires go after anyone the world would not miss.
Or even notice.
Until now.
Save everyone you can, and keep your eyes open for Dahlia.
I am looking.
Me too. I just don't like what I see.
They're as good as done.
Now it's the city's unhoused population. These depraved creatures have no shame.
They do not seem to feel anything at all. Only their hunger drives them. And yet they're still on
People caught in their wake.
Then you're in the right place. At the very least, you can deny the vampires their next meal.
Now that was something.
I'm gonna rip you.
I saw a move like that once, centuries ago.
You ain't good enough for me.
Together with me!
Who needs practice?
Brace yourself!
Leave some for the rest of us. We are being watched.
Let them watch. Give them no cause to fear us.
Shh, it's all right. You'll be as good as new.
Dahlia?
Aurora? What are you doing here?
I tried to find you at the orphanage, but...
But what?
It seemed you were in distress. I wanted to help.
I'm not the one who needs help. Look around you. I can do more here than wearing a fancy yellow suit. The Morlocks took me in. They just welcomed me into their family. But now someone is trying to tear our family apart.
I am so sorry.
No, you're not. You say you're all about protecting mutants, but it's only the ones who live in that mansion. You don't even see people like us.
That's not true.
What happened here?
We were attacked by creatures. We don't know what they are or what they want. Most of us fled after the last attack. Some are too wounded to move. I just need more time to heal them.
What can we do?
You really want to help? Stop those things from killing my family.
These vampires are truly stockpiling victims. There is something much greater at work here.
As if their torment of these people was not enough.
It is never enough. There always seems to be a darker purpose waiting to reveal itself.
At least it keeps us busy.
You were too weak for this fight. No mercy!
This is what you came for!
I am impressed.
Surrender!
Knock it off! Here comes a few more.
These Morlocks, they live here, beneath the city? Why have I not seen them before?
These sewers have been home to all kinds.
They've survived by avoiding unnecessary attention. And much like their counterparts on the surface, many...
The modern world continues to surprise me. I had expected better.
Want it done right, gotta do it yourself. Now it's fine. I wasn't even trying that hard. You attached to that face?
The forces of nature conspire against you. must find these other victims Dahlia mentioned. Who must be suffering the experience that vampires.
There are endless tunnels here. It will not be easy. All who serve Lilith will fall.
Gotta admit, the kid's pretty good. That looked like it hurt.
Your mother abandons you. Are you prepared? Face your end.
The Morlocks may have grown accustomed to that place, but I wouldn't spend any more time down there than you have to.
I will stay here as long as is necessary.
Nothing less of you.
They cannot possibly match your strength.
Not looking good for you. Damn.
Now that was something.
I'm sure the Morlocks will be grateful, in their own quiet way.
Dahlia! It's over. You're safe.
Thank you, Aurora. And the rest of you. We're not used to people looking out for us.
Is there anything else we can do?
No, we'll be all right. I've healed the others. We'll move where they can't find us.
Dahlia, you don't have to be alone. The X-Men would welcome you.
Thanks, but I'm not alone. And I can't abandon my family for yours.
All right. And if you ever need me...
You'll be the first we call.
Goddess be with you. All of you.
Wanda, my main witch, is home. I knew she didn't break bad for good. Hunter, I have a favor to ask.
What do you need?
Storm seems off. I haven't seen her like this before. Can you speak with her?
Of course, but why me?
You both know what it means to lead. She sees you as a peer, whereas I will always be her student. You may be able to reach her in a way I cannot.
All right. I will seek her out.
Thank you. Oh, and don't tell her I asked you to do this.
I enjoy getting out there, even if the outcome is uncertain. You were right about the Abbey being special. It's beautiful out here.
I like to come here when I am feeling down.
Subtlety is not your strong suit. You want to ask about Dahlia, yes?
Dahlia believes you only care about the X-Men who choose to join. Her words hurt you.
Not exactly, but they've left me to wonder. And the act of self-reflection is often uncomfortable.
I do not follow.
Her comment has caused me to think about how I treat my students. I don't think I choose favorites, but what if I do without realizing it? Regardless, I'm relieved to see her safe and happy with her found family. I'll keep worrying about her until the vampires are taken care of.
I relate. The Midnight Suns are my family, and I share the same concerns over their safety.
That almost sounds silly, worrying about people with powers. But I appreciate your words. It feels good to know I am not alone.
I think the fear is natural. Having abilities puts targets on our backs.
That is a good point.
Just because we are strong does not mean we are invincible.
Where were you when I was a teenager? That's what leadership is. Knowing when to step in and when to respect boundaries.
How do you know?
They'll straight up tell you. Or you'll just feel it.
Sounds complicated.
It gets easier with time. Thank you for coming to check on me, Hunter. Leaders often have to take these burdens on by themselves.
I am not a leader.
Oh, please. I call it like I see it. Is there anything else?
How did you meet Dahlia?
I learned of her through the X-Men. Once mutants hit a certain age, their powers manifest. I went to offer Dahlia a place at Xavier's school, but she turned me away.
Was that the only time you approached her?
No. The second time I tried, the orphanage told me she had run away. I'm thankful she found companionship among the Morlocks.
I have never heard of a Morlock before.
Morlocks are mutants who are visually distinct. I'm hesitant to call them different, but they avoid the X-Men.
Different?
Some Morlocks may have a gelatinous body, while others have horns growing from their head. Again, visually distinct.
Do you think the vampires are after Dahlia or the Morlocks?
It's hard to say. I do not know what they would want with either of them.
Dahlia and the Morlocks are both mutants. Maybe the answer lies there.
It's possible there's a connection there. I'd rather destroy the vampires before we find out for certain.
No, that was all.
Of course.
Your actions with Wanda really took Lilith down a peg in my eyes.
We've been through a lot as a team, but we've come a long way.
How did it go? Is she all right?
We talked. I think I was able to lift her spirits.
That is a relief.
It is sweet that you care for her.
Yes, yes. My heart of ice can melt on occasion.
Thanks for coming out to meet me.
You wanted to talk?
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you a question, if that's all right.
Ask away.
Why are you being so nice to me? I mean, I was your mortal enemy at some point, and I was the one who... you know, with Agatha. Wasn't expecting you, of all people, to warm up to me.
We all make mistakes, Wanda. And we all deserve a chance to make up for them.
Well, I've made some pretty big ones. Some would say unforgivable, even. Not sure if you noticed, but everyone seems to be afraid of me around here. Everyone except for you, that is.
Oh, come now, Wanda. You are not that scary.
Are you sure? Because you seemed pretty scared when I was your adversary.
Me? No. It takes a lot to frighten me.
Yeah, I'm getting that feeling about you. Anyway, I just wanted to say, thanks for not hating me. Or something along those lines. I'm glad you're here.
You too, Wanda.
Vampires hit the Morlocks again.
And Dahlia?
Taken.
So this is the part where we bring her back.
I thought you might take some convincing.
You had us at kill vampires.
By the goddess.
Sin's handiwork, no doubt. We should free them before they...
This city has had enough of Sin and her pets. She's long past due a reckoning.
Bad news. More on the way.
That is bad. For them.
Go after the ones holding the keys. Let's get these people out of here.
This is intolerable. Sin has gone too far.
Leave none of her new kin standing.
Bring all you got. You asked for it. Your mother.
Welcome assistance.
You kissed the mother with that mouth?
You chose this path. Now you must follow it.
Vampires are not the only ones who should fear you.
Here it comes. Playtime's over. That's not the
Don't let your guard down. There's still more coming. As if the Morlocks have not endured enough scorn in this city.
Sin has proven herself willing to step on anything.
She'll get what's coming to her.
I will make sure of that. Accept your defeat. I call to the elements.
I think you got him.
Brace yourself. The elements bow to me.
Leave some for the rest of us.
Face your end.
Now that was something. They must know my reputation.
The end comes for us all eventually.
How long has this been going on right under my nose?
We have had no shortage of distractions from my mother. This is not your fault.
Maybe not, but it sure does piss me off.
The light will heal you.
Arigato.
I can handle it.
Whoever trained you did a damn good job.
We'll shake our loyalty. Hydra Immortalis.
Lucky shot. Reinforcements. Good.
We must work faster to free these people!
You're the heavy hitter. Throw a hurricane at him.
Can she really do that? Brave told me to mention your mother. Apparently she is promiscuous.
Come get it. Give the mother my regards in hell.
True!
That's a neat trick.
I am impressed.
Is that your best?
Ah, the main course has arrived. No issues. on!
They cannot possibly match your strength.
Are you prepared?
I saw a move like that once, centuries ago. Your fate is You were too weak for this fight.
Your fate was already sealed.
They're hoping to wear me down.
We haven't even gotten started yet.
Your mother abandons you.
This is what you came for.
That's one hell of a move.
There will be no escape.
Never seen that before.
Return to the darkness.
I am impressed.
We're losing ground!
Is that everyone? Maybe you do not realize the trouble you are in, friend.
exactly what I needed.
They cannot possibly match your strength.
They are free. Now, where is Sin? Dahlia!
What the hell have you done, Vamp?
What have I done? A work of true genius. Personal alchemies, artifacts acquired over centuries.
And blood? Siphoned from dozens of innocents?
Hundreds. Mutant, human, a combined broth.
All to fulfill my one purpose. The creation of a vast immortal army that can cross sacred ground, that requires no invitation.
No flaw, no failure, no death. Just perfection.
No stakes. No silver.
No weakness whatsoever.
Except for me.
Enough bravado. My plan was flawless. All I needed was the right filter.
There will be no more running. You will answer for what you've done here and now.
Why we ever run from you? We stand proud.
She's right, of course.
Then this will end here. Look to the skies.
I saw a move like that once, centuries ago.
Face your end. They still haven't realized their mistake. The elements bow to you.
The light is on our side.
I will use it to my advantage.
You had your chance to escape.
I thought you were supposed to be powerful.
You trifled with the wrong goddess.
This will end well.
picking on kids? You're garbage.
You always have such a way with words, Blade. And you're so angry.
That almost sounded like garbage trying to talk.
Enough of your disrespect!
Now who's angry?
I will deliver you from her grasp. Don't get up, even if you can.
Not my equal.
Do you not realize who I am? I'll remember your face. When this is over, your blood will serve as the first of many exquisite meals to come. A banquet of the day of goddess. And what are you exactly?
Unpalatable.
I very much doubt that.
Can you feel it in the air? The sky is the limit.
They're mine.
Your fear is palpable.
This is what you came for.
You should have tried harder.
I cannot be deterred.
Just taste my power.
I will aid you if I can. Looks like they have help. How many times is that?
Dahlia's powers are a boon to this world. We will reunite her with the Morlocks.
Ha! You talk as if we haven't already won!
I didn't hear a bell.
Neither did I. Are you prepared?
Your blood will renew me. Back in the game.
Look to the sky.
The best you can do.
Sounds to me like they just missed their mama.
Time has come.
Looks like they called for help.
This should be over soon.
Let us see if they have an answer.
They brought this upon themselves.
No!
Master!
In the end, you are all alone.
Then so shall it be with you!
It seems vampires are vulnerable to lightning.
That was half my power. Don't move. You're all right now.
You came back for me.
Of course we did.
What now?
We'll take you home. Wherever you want that to be.
You can sleep in my room tonight, Dahlia.
What? No, I don't want to kick you out of your own space.
Don't worry about it. I can sleep in limbo.
Oh, I'm guessing there's no point in arguing with you.
You're smart. Try to get some rest. You need it.
In a bit. There's something I need to do first. Could you stop by later, Hunter? We should talk.
How do you feel?
Aside from the obvious, I'm alright. Although I've noticed my abilities don't feel the same. I don't know how to describe it, but it's,
Darker.
Yeah. How did you...
I have darkness within me too. I understand what it is like.
I don't want it to linger, to control me. How do you deal with it?
I do my best not to tap into that part of myself.
Doesn't that mean you're ignoring that it's a part of you?
Not really. I know it is there, and I can feel it tempting me, but I have learned to keep it at bay.
If you can learn to manage, maybe so can I.
I have no doubts about that.
You know, I'm actually surprised that you all came to rescue me. Don't get me wrong, I'm totally glad that you did. It was just unexpected.
What is next for you, Dahlia?
Honestly, I don't know. But for the first time in my life, I get to choose. Everything is up in the air, but, you know, I'm taking it day by day. I'm still cool to talk if you have more questions.
Has your opinion of Storm changed?
I was really unkind to her in the sewer. I spoke out of anger, and I regret it.
The words you spoke held no truth?
Yes. And no. It's complicated. But Storm showed up when it mattered. She cares about me and the Morlocks, and she showed it.
You should tell her this.
I plan on it.
How do you feel about leaving the orphanage?
Conflicted. On one hand, I hated it. Every day was a reminder that I didn't belong. But I was surrounded by kids who felt the same way, and we became a family.
You miss your friends.
I do. Leaving them behind sucked. But once I learned about the Morlocks, I knew I needed to help.
Then you found another new family.
I'm forever grateful they took me in.
What are your thoughts on the Morlocks?
They're my family. They took me in, and we cared for each other. We're all mutants just trying to get by.
They were not wary of you?
They were at first. They thought I was one of the X-Men. But once they saw I wanted to help, we built up trust.
Is being an X-Men bad?
Morlocks are used to being outcasts because of the way they look. There's a misunderstanding between the two groups, you know.
Have you reconsidered Storm's offer?
I was worried about this question. I have no idea.
That is okay. You do not need to know right now.
There's still so much about the X-Men I don't know about, and I can't just leave the Morlocks behind.
I'm sure you will figure something out.
Me too.
See you later, Dahlia.
I hope so.
Hunter, a word?
I am listening.
I wanted to apologize. I'm afraid I came off a bit cold when we last spoke.
As I said before, it is all right. I do not expect you to warm up to me right away.
If we want to kick the temperature up in here, all I need to do is think of good thoughts.
You are speaking literally?
Yes, but that conversation is for another time.
I see you are still hesitant in sharing parts of yourself.
I'm not trying to keep secrets, but I don't want to alarm anyone.
Why would it be alarming?
Hypothetically speaking, how would you feel if others learned that you could cause a hurricane if you became too upset?
I do not think I would feel good about myself.
Some people start viewing you differently. As a leader, that's the last thing I want.
Do you think they are scared?
No. I have a tight lid around my emotions. Let's leave it at that. I go into detail, but...
You do not trust me yet.
Keep doing what you're doing, and I'm sure we'll get there.
Hunter, a word.
I miss my students back at the school, but we'll be reunited soon. Dahlia left this morning for Xavier's school.
You do not sound surprised.
She's got the safety of her Morlocks to consider. With so many X-Men out for the Shi'ar Brood War, there's space.
The Morlocks were invited as well?
Yes. Magic ferried everyone to the school. They'll be secure until the vampire threat is eradicated.
I am sure Dahlia is happy they were able to join her.
It was her idea. She proposed the X-Men and the Morlocks share space at Xavier's school to better understand one another.
What a great idea.
She wants to end the confusion and stigma each group has toward the other. It is a noble pursuit, and I am so proud of her.
So, what are your plans, now that she is safe?
You went out of your way to help me. It is only right that I return the favor. I will remain at the Abbey until your fight with Lilith is over.
Enough is enough! We must destroy Dracula, cut off the head, and the new breed vampires will fall.
We don't even know where to find him.
Well, we don't not know where to find him.
I'm sorry, what are you saying?
Honestly, I have no idea. I stopped reading scripts in 2016. I keep ad-libbing, no matter how many people tell me to shut
Unless
up.
you know where to find Dracula, shut up.
Exactly! Like that! But no, I myself have no clue where Big D and his army of foo-fangers might be.
But one of your clients might.
Depends. You hiring?
You? How?
Doc Morbius said hemolisks give off a faint gamma signature, so I cross-referenced central satellite data to find concentrations of the stuff. Then, figured Sin never flies commercial. She thinks she's too good for it, right? So I checked SHIELD data on private flights with suspected Hydra connections around the time she first showed up in New York, then traced back to the point of origin. Oh, and that sunlight serum is basically magic in a bottle. I had a hunch the mirror table could pick up vats of the stuff. If they shipped it anywhere, why not home base? When you put those locations together and see where they all overlap... voila. Dracula. And Sin, I'm guessing. You know I'm a journalist, right?
By the goddess. What are we waiting for?
Storm, what's the forecast?
Clear skies ahead.
Venom, eat anything behind us.
Why stop there?
Deadpool, Morbius, anything comes across that bridge.
Less talky, more shooty, right, Doc?
Time to make a few house calls.
Wow, that's a serious castle. Funny how no one knew it was here all this time.
Most people could point out Transylvania on a map.
Maybe that's Pennsylvania?
Point well taken, Blade.
I've been waiting.
Stephanie trick.
They seem very set in their ways. You should have been more careful.
You've left me no choice.
Still coming for me. Agatha Mother my regards in hell. Let's do this. Somehow, I always knew I'd end up here.
And I could never picture myself in Dracula's domain.
Little old me storming Dracula's castle with the Daywalker and the living vampire? Ah, what a crossover!
I'm glad someone is having a good time.
Step right up, test your strength!
I think you got him.
I'll make quick work of you. Is this what you had hoped for?
Your mother. You kissed the mother with that mouth? Time to bleed.
I will waste no more time. This world has a new enemy.
To think, we share some of the same traits, the same blood as these mindless retainers.
Speak for yourself. I don't see the resemblance.
Aside from the teeth, the eyes, that unique vampire aroma you all seem to have.
That's not what I was saying at all, fool. Ready to up the ante?
Did we just become best friends?
No more wasted effort.
Was that your full power?
And then some.
Venom and Storm with me. Morbius, Deadpool, can you buy us some time?
Time for what?
Let me guess. Tombside chat with Vladdy the Vamp Daddy?
More of a pointed discussion.
Disciple underestimate your power. As you underestimate mine.
You must see it by now, Dracula. Your game is coming to an end.
This time, you will be our toy. Good. You're feeling confident. I don't want any excuses when you lay vanquished at my feet.
Keep talking. I'm gonna enjoy this.
Are you prepared?
Watch close. It sounds to me like they just missed their mama. I'm on it. These fanatics are always the same.
This won't end well.
Should get the blood pumping. They're mine. It's weirdos like these that give people like us a bad reputation. No half-men.
Your mistake in coming here.
Stop doing that. How many times must you fail before you accept the truth? Our hunger is our strength.
We will not suffer your bloodlust again!
I simply gave you a reason to indulge them.
We will satisfy them with your flesh! You are out of your league.
Are you prepared for the afterlife?
We have some trouble here. Food!
It's good to be back.
Who's next? That's really the best you can do.
The damage you inflicted upon Dahlia will take years to repair, but at least she'll know her tormentor is no more.
The girl should feel lucky to have served a higher purpose with her life. Her pain had meaning.
Appreciate it.
Look to the skies.
This is who I am. I thought you were supposed to be powerful.
My power leaves me. As long as none of you gets on me, we'll be fine.
worse.
The end comes for us all, eventually.
Now we get down to it. The final curtain call.
We both know this is
Doubtful, but it has been truly an honor facing you, Daywalker.
Nah, we're not doing that. Good riddance, bloodsucker.
Dibs on his spine.
The forces of nature conspire against you. As long as none of you gets on me, we'll be fine.
Screw this, I'm not missing the boss fight.
You think you've won? Without my grand endeavor, nothing will protect you from what is coming.
We'll manage. Oh, did you want to get a lick in?
Oh no, you had it handled. My concern, as always, is the bigger picture. The new breed vampires are no more.
No more bad food?
Maybe. You like pancakes?
It is past time we go.
Never been so happy to see a shiny blue hole. Oh, except for the time I met Ronan the Accuser. It's beautiful.
Do you think he's really gone?
I'm cautiously optimistic.
An unworthy master. I shall not make the same mistake twice.